Hey guys, what's up? Fan here again, and today I'm bringing you guys another video commentary slash guide, and the hero that I'll be covering today is none other than the newest hero, Kael'thas. Now, Kael'thas, of course, is a assassin, and as most of you probably have seen by now, he is very, very strong. He has a ton of burst damage, as well as a ton of just poke damage in general. But the drawback for that, of course, is going to be he is very squishy and he has no escape mechanisms whatsoever, or mechanics, I should say, whatever. But anyways, today I'm going to be showing you guys the generally accepted build for KT. He's been out for like 2 weeks or so now, so in North America, there's been a pretty generally defined path for him in terms of the talent build, and I'll show you guys that today. So, Mana Addict is what you want level 1. Mana Addict shores up his huge mana problems. If you don't get that spell, you're going to run out of mana in like 2 or 3 rotations of his spells maximum. And that's just not enough. You want to be constantly poking with this hero just non-stop. And Mana Addict, really allows you to do that, especially as you get into the later stages of the game. Now, obviously, Fell Infusion is also pretty good, and I think it's particularly good on smaller maps such as Haunted Mines. You can kind of think of Mana Addict as a different form of Conjurer's Pursuit, which it basically is, right? So it's a scaling kind of deal. Oh, whoops. I missed my first W onto that Nova, unfortunately, but no big deal. We traded poke, and he got the worst end of it that time, so all is good. Now, in terms of laning with KT, generally what I like to do is I like to save the D for my W, for my Living Bomb. So every time my Verdant Spheres is off of cooldown, I'll use it, and then I'll immediately Living Bomb something, right? So whether it be like a creep, or a hero, or a tower, basically whatever I can reach, I will do it. And the benefits of this is that, basically it allows you to conserve your mana really well, because when you empower your Living Bombs with, let me pick that guy up, I'm pretty sure that's the real one. Oh, that's actually the fake one. Is my bad, but no big deal there. I'm gonna go tap my fountain now. But as I was saying, the benefits of empowering your W, especially in the early game, is pretty big. Not only do you get a free, it's a free of charge Living Bomb, but you also have no cooldown on it. So both of those things combined is very, very cool. I'm gonna try and catch that guy. I did catch that guy, and tried to get my last Living Bomb on him there, but didn't quite manage to click it, unfortunately. Hopefully the other lanes here will be okay. I'm gonna poke that guy off so he can't get the DK. Alright, level 4, we're gonna get Gathering Power. It's very, very strong, and I'm just gonna empower poke off the minion wave here, because I'm kind of scared that the Nova is gonna pay me another visit. Nova is definitely one of the heroes that counters KT pretty hard, just because of how squishy he is. I'm gonna stay in between the creep waves right here to try and negate that possibility. And I was ready to follow up if Kerrigan landed that combo, but no worries. But back to what I was saying. So you can only empower your 3 basic abilities, right? Now, the empowered Flame Strike is good at wave clear, but honestly, even your normal Flame Strike, you can see here, it hits every single minion except like maybe 1 or 2, right? So in terms of wave clear, you honestly don't really need the empowered Flame Strike if you're just looking to wave clear. You can just use the normal Flame Strike, and instead you can save your Verdant Spheres for your W. And what that does, once again, is, of course, it removes the cooldown and mana cost. So you can see, even though I've been putting out a ton of harass, I'm basically full mana at this point, which I would not be if I was harassing with empowered Flame Strikes instead of the empowered Living Bombs. It's really nice. I'm going to try and catch him there. Couldn't quite manage to do it. There was a creep in my way, so I couldn't just E him, unfortunately. But overall, we're still winning this lane. I'm poking him out pretty hard, so I'm not too worried here. I'm going to keep poking him here. And another thing you'll notice is that I actually don't use my second Living Bomb unless I'm sure I can kill someone. Because when you do it this way, when you only use the free living bomb, what you're effectively doing is you're making the living bomb cooldown only a 6-second cooldown because it's based on the cooldown of your verdant spheres. Notice every time my verdant spheres is up, I can immediately use living bomb, right? But if I go ahead and use my second living bomb, what that does, and Nova is here, so I'm going to try and dodge the snipe. Couldn't do it, unfortunately. So I'm just going to run upwards and waste these guys' time. And I'm going to get ready to turn here. I'm going to lift that guy, toss out as much damage as I can here. And barely managed to get away, but I did manage to get away. So good enough. Anyways, I'm gonna hurt back now. And I got distracted there, but the point I was trying to make is that, you know, if you just use D and the first W, basically you can do that every 6 seconds, right? Because that's the cooldown of verdant spheres. However, if you do D, W, and then you use your second W, then your living bomb goes on cooldown, and you have to wait 10 seconds before you can use that combination again. So it effectively puts it, you know, it mismatches the cooldown. So once again, I can show you here, you know, if I only use the first one, immediately after Living Bomb comes up, I can do it again, right? So that's a 6-second cooldown. But if I go ahead and use the second one before my D is up, then you can see my cooldowns are mismatched and I can't do that anymore. So that's basically the reason why I'm doing that. This guy's trying to stall. I'm just going to go ahead and blow him up here. And just keep protecting our Kerrigan player. Alright, looks like our Kerrigan is good there. I'm gonna keep igniting people. Looks like there was a Brightwing there, but she disappeared. And I'm gonna see if he can combo over the wall. Oh, he's out of mana, so can't do that, but no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and poke that guy over the wall. And once again, just keep using my DW combination there. Now, level 10, what we're going to get is Phoenix. Phoenix is just a really, really strong ult overall. The cooldown is super short, and that's not good. I'm going to try and save my Kerrigan player here. I'm going to toss out everything I can just to scare them away with the damage output. And looks like we succeeded in doing that. Alright. So here the creep wave is bigger than one creep wave, so I am going to go ahead and use an empowered flame strike to just kind of clear all of it real fast. Alright, and now I'm going to go back and harass that guy. Looks like that is the real Nova. I wonder if I can catch her. No, just barely couldn't, unfortunately, but no big deal. Alright, anyways. Going back to what I was saying, so Phoenix is really, really good because 40-second cooldown, you can literally just do whatever you want with it. You can see there, I can just throw it onto buildings and start sieging if I so want, and it'll do a respectable amount of damage. You can see it killed half of that tower right there. And basically, the reason Phoenix is better than the Pyroblast is that Phoenix does a lot of damage in an AoE, and Pyroblast is really effectively a single target spell. Even though it has a little bit of splash, it's a single target spell. The second thing, and the most, you know, convincing argument against Pyroblast is the 2-second channel time is just simply too long in like competitive games. If both teams are high skill level, you cannot waste 2 seconds doing nothing unless you're literally, you know, channeling it outside of the enemy team's vision, and that's very, very hard to, you know, come by that situation. So overall, most people really go Phoenix in competitive play, at least right now. Another thing is that Pyroblast is really easily countered, so by like Divine Shield or Ice Block or anything of that sort, Anubrag can counter it by, you know, going with his E. Murky can counter it with his Safety Bubble. There's just so many things that can counter it. Pyroblast is kind of like a weak ultimate in my opinion, at least at the moment. Alright, so we're going to continue pushing here. Level 13, what we're going to get is Chain Bomb. Chain Bomb is, especially in pub games, it's what makes his damage output really accelerate, because it basically means that your opponents cannot clump, and if they clump whatsoever, they get punished extremely hard for it. Try and save our Murky here. So far so good. And then power a Flame Strike on top of that guy, and he exploded. And now I'm just going to throw a Phoenix at their wall, force them to stop chasing, and if they do keep chasing, you know, might be able to just blow them up. Alright, couldn't really blow them up, but got a ton of damage on them and their wall, and we managed to secure our escape. So overall, that was perfectly fine by me. Gonna come over here now and just double living bomb that guy. Pretty easy kill once again. And I'm gonna go back and get some mana here. So going over the skill build, level 1 of course was Mana Addict. Level 4 you get Gathering Power. Gathering Power on him is amazing because all his damage comes from spells, and of course amplifying his spell damage means that you amplify, you know, his damage by an absolute ton. I really want to catch this Nova. I'm gonna see if Phoenix breaks her out of Invis. It does. I'm gonna double living bomb her, but the Rhaegar was enough to save her, unfortunately. So, I'm gonna turn around here. I'm gonna lift this guy up, combo him with Flame Strike, and try and get the kill here. Alright, we did manage to get the kill, which is good. And I'm following this guy to try and get the Nova. This was the real Nova, I believe. Alright, Nova's dead. Level 16, what we're gonna get is Ignite. Ignite is a very big power spike. Oh gosh, Murky's everywhere. Run away. Alright, we're good. But like I was saying, level 16 is also a very big power spike for this hero. Both 13 and 16 are huge power spikes in the Chain Bomb and in the Ignite. Basically, you can see this build is very heavily centered around just making, you know, your living bomb damage very high and then chaining it and then making everything kind of cast living bomb onto the enemies, right? So very strong overall. In fights, especially after level 7, which is when you get your increased living bomb damage, you generally want to do 2 living bombs, so you want to empower your W. And then after level 16, when you get Flame Strike applies Living Bomb, that's when you switch back to empowering your Qs. Because, you know, your Q does give you a free W, so... And it gives you a free W of everyone in the Flame Strike. So that's kind of the casting order that you want to go about in. So I guess I'll just say it. So let's say level 1 to 7, the casting order... I already pretty much mentioned it, right? So you're going to be in lane, and you're just going to want to be harassing people with DW, but not the second W unless you can get a kill, right? So every 6 seconds, DW, DW, and you can just use your normal Flame Strike to clear the wave if you need to do that, because like I said, it does hit, like, you know, 5 or 6 out of the 7 minions in a creep wave. So you don't really need the empowered Q. Instead, you just basically just spam DW on anything you possibly can, and you'll pretty much outtrade everything because it's a free 6-second nuke, AoE nuke, right? Okay, that's the real Nova. There's really nothing else to get here, so I'm gonna call for the retreat and back off. Second thing is, after level 7, you have Fission Bomb increased damage. Now, at that point, what you really want to do is you want to empower your Ws, because with this skill, your full combo with 2 Ws actually does more damage than if you had empowered a Flame Strike. So after level 7, what you want to do is, I'm just going to throw down a Phoenix here, help me clear this slightly faster. 40-second cooldown, so it's going to be back up before I fight again. But yeah, from level 7 to level 16, whenever you fight, your combo is obviously to do 2 Ws. So let's say you do E on a hero, and then you Q on top of them, and then you do DWW, right? So E, Q, DWW would be your ideal combo from level 7 to 16. And from level 16 onward, since you get this talent, Ignite, you want to empower your Flame Strikes now. So from level 16 onward, you know, your combinations might vary, but basically what you're always going to want to do is you always want to do the DQ instead of the DW. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, my team is fighting here. I was dealing with an Asmodan. Gonna lift this guy up. Flame Strike, Ignite, and he's dead. And it looks like this is a pretty easy game. We're just going to go bottom and continue pushing now. Some Murky there. I'm just going to ignore him. And come here and push with my Mercs. Once again, I'm just going to keep poking. Level 20, of course, we're going to get Bolt of the Storm. Bolt of the Storm is just absolutely necessary on KT in my opinion. He has no other escape mechanics, and Bolt is, of course, one of the best escape mechanics in the game. But yeah, this is basically the skill build. I talked a little bit about the skill order and how you lane in the early game. Once again, I've only played this hero up to level 5, but I have talked to a lot of, you know, my friends who have been spamming him since the game started, so I feel like I do know quite a bit about this hero right now, and you can see the chain bomb just killed everything there. And hopefully you guys learned a bit from this tutorial. If I learned something else, I might make another one, but for now, this is basically the build that you want to go on him. The only other variation I would want to mention is at level 13, sometimes instead of Chain Bomb, you can go for Flamethrower range. A lot of people do that in competitive games because it basically makes you a poke machine. You can stay very, very far back and just poke people with very safe range. And that's pretty good in competitive games because, you know, if you show your face out of position once in a competitive game, you're instantly dead. However, in Hero League and Quick Match, you know, it's a lot more relaxed environment. Since people aren't 5-stack super coordinated, you can get away with aggressive positioning, and because of that, I think that Chain Bomb is almost always the better choice in Hero League and Quick Match. So hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned a little bit about, you know, Kael'thas and the casting orders and what to do early game. Once again, I really do believe that the DW every 6 seconds is just absolutely amazing early game, and it can crush everything in lane. So make sure you go ahead and do that. But other than that, that's about it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for additional videos about Heroes of the Storm. I will be producing a lot more in the future, so make sure to subscribe for that. And if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section below. But other than that, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.